ready for the conversation that I'm about to have. But we're gonna get into it anyways. If you see my feet, yeah, I'm barefoot. So what? I have my notes in front of me, so if I look down and I'm reading to you, this is my notes. Okay, so just let me do. We're going to dive into some serious stuff first. We're going to get that out the way, and then we're going to have some fun talking about gaming stuff. The first topic of conversation that I'm going to have with you is going to be relating to the moms out there. Postpartum depression. It's a very controversial topic between moms. I see it all over Facebook and everything. I end up seeing a lot of stuff about momming and being a mom, and the comments in there are so gross sometimes. They're just so bad. There are moms that will say postpartum depression is not real. It makes me mad. And then there's the moms that's like, postpartum depression is so real and I really hope that you get through it and blah, 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 blah. Two different type of people. The ones that say that postpartum depression isn't real can go suck a dick because it really is real. I didn't know that till my second pregnancy. I'll explain everything in detail as best as I can because I'm going to be honest with you, my smarts seem to have declined since having children. I guess they call it mom brain or something, but I know that your brain actually does physically change. Like it literally changes, and that's kind of cool, but also kind of crazy. But let's get into it, yeah? My first pregnancy was a twin pregnancy, and it was fairly easy, but it was very annoying towards like closer to the point where I was about to have them. Now, I did have my twins early, and when I was pregnant with these babies, these beautiful babies, I was in my home state. I was with family. It was COVID time. I was about to have, what was it? It was 2021. Yeah, I had them in 2021. It was COVID time. The only person that was in the room, the delivery room with me, was my mom. And she was there through literally every part of my pregnancy and after the pregnancy up until I had to leave. I think most of the reason why I didn't have postpartum depression is because I had all of my family. And also, I had my girls early. And because I had them early, they were in the hospital. And they were in the NICU system or whatever, the NICU part, for 3 months. And I think because of that, I didn't have responsibility yet. It was just me. Like my babies were out of me, but I didn't have them. And I wasn't taking care of them. So I was focused on myself, besides going visit them every day. But I was focused on myself. And I was getting my body back. I bounced back fast. I think it has a lot to do with my metabolism. It's very high metabolism. I bounced back and I was able to spend a lot of time just being me. That part, I think, is one of the biggest reasons why I didn't fall into it, because I was with family the whole time. Also, my mom was there to help me in the beginning. She took the babies on. She was like, go sleep, go do this, go do that. And she would take them. She loves babies. Fast forward to the day that my husband came back. The girls were 3 months and they were home. They were basically the size of newborns by the time that he got to see them. So that was great. My parents and us, we had to move. We had to move to the location that my husband's job was taking him to. So we moved there. My parents helped me move there. And then they left, and my mom called me every single day. She checked in on me. She, cared a lot about me. So she would spend a lot of time trying to talk to me. And that's another reason why I didn't have postpartum depression for the twins. And then November 18th, 2022, my mom died. Not going to cry because I cried a lot for that. She passed away, and then I had to deal with that. Some time passed from that. I got pregnant with my son. My second pregnancy, and it wasn't bad. This was like a really smooth pregnancy. I didn't have no pain, no nausea, no nothing. It was just smooth ride the whole time, and I went full term. But the only difference this time was I didn't have a support system for after the birth. I did have a support system while I was pregnant. It was my neighbor. I had my neighbor who was always checking in on me. My family at the time, I don't hate them for it or anything. I understand. My mom died, and she was like the biggest rock in our entire family. She did everything for everybody. She held up literally every family. Losing that made everyone just go dark. I know I just touched the wall like I'm a weirdo, but no one talked. No one was spending time together as much. Everybody was highly depressed because of it. I didn't get nothing from my family. I didn't really get checked in on a lot. So they didn't know any of the stuff that I was going to be going through during that time that I was going through it. So I didn't have my mom this time around. I didn't have family this time around. but I did have my neighbor in the delivery room this time. I love her. You know, she was the best neighbor. She helped me so much. She did so much. She took the kids off of my hands so much. That way I could just have time with the new baby and not feel like a shitty mom for not giving them as much attention. And the girls loved them so much. And I'm pretty sure if they were to see them again, they would recognize who they are. I do believe so. After so much time, they had to PCS to another location. That's the military lifestyle for you. They had to leave. I made a great friend, made a great connection, had a great support system, and then boom, it's taken away. Then I had nothing. It was just me. And that was like the beginning of how my life started falling apart. I don't really know how it started. Like, it's really all a blur, but it started with anger. I started having a lot of anger for everything that I had to do. All the responsibilities I had to take care of, everything. I was always angry. Yeah, I was a little bit snappy at my kids, and I would get angry that I'd have to go fix a bottle. I'd be like, oh, really? I gotta go fucking do this? Like, it was things like that. I didn't notice I was doing it. That was one part. I think it was postpartum anger. Then postpartum depression. This part was strong. It came on like heavy as fuck. I got to the point where it was like an intense feeling of deep loneliness and sadness. Ended up getting so bad that I stopped wanting to clean the house as much. It's fairly clean all the time. My definition of dirty is way different than everybody else's definition of dirty. So if I were to take a picture of my house right now and show people what my house looked like, they'd be like, there's nothing wrong with your house. But at this point of my life, I wasn't cleaning much. It wasn't disgusting. It was just messy, and it just kept piling up. My hallway was filled with trash at one point. All the papers and stuff that I would do, I was trying to write a lot. I would fill bags and empty plates and cups just lining the wall, and I had like this piece of my counter in the hallway. It's not a counter, it's the wall piece before you go down the stairs, but the little wall piece, I had that filled with cups and plates and bowls, and I would clean those probably it's like once every 2 weeks or something. It was bad. Now, at one point, I don't know where it really hit me, but I didn't want to leave my room. I would go get food downstairs as quick as I possibly could, make something, and then I'd come back upstairs. And I'd feed myself and my kids, and then I would stay in my room for the rest of the day. We'd watch TV, they'd have their toys, they'd do all that stuff. If my kids wanted to go get something out of the room, they could go. They would just go, it's right next to my room. So they would go out, they would grab all the toys they want, they'd come back in the room, and we'd all hang out in there. And it got to the point where I was like that for almost a month. Where I was just in my room. And an event happened that I'm not going to discuss, but I do know that if this event didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. Nobody would have known I was like that. Nobody. It's not anybody's fault. Of course it's not. It's my fault. I didn't reach out to nobody. I didn't tell nobody. I was miserable in silence. After this event happened, then the progression, climbing up the ladder, if you will, getting better in my life started happening. I got a therapist. When I first started this therapy session, let me change my song real quick. I was awful. And from what I know, my therapist said I looked broken. I don't know how he did it. It wasn't like your typical therapist that you hear about, like the ones that's like, how does that make you feel? He doesn't talk like that. He talks to me, if that makes sense. Like, he really listens, and then he gives me the biggest advice that he could personally give. He gives me room to state my points. I mean, we just have a full-on deep conversation about stuff. Like, he sees me, instead of just doing his job, he sees me as someone important. And it's not that I don't have my husband to go to, it's just that I didn't want to put any of this stuff on him, if that makes sense. I feel like that's not his place, or that's how I see it, I guess. I don't want to shove this on him while he's away already having his own depression and own issues, because he's away. He doesn't even have a chance to watch his kids grow up and stuff like that. So I had somebody to go to, and it was this therapist that I still have today, by the way. And then I started taking his advice, and I started finding friends, and I found a neighbor that's right across my street. She's very sweet. I found friends, and then I started going into these group things for my son. He has a speech therapist. It's basically group sessions with like other moms and other kids, and they basically do activities and things like that, like for physical motor skills. And it's really nice to get out and do that. That also helps me as well. And then some time passes, blah blah blah. We reach October and I go visit family. My brother invites me to his wedding and I take the offer. He comes get me. We drive all the way to my home state. I stayed for almost a month. My anxiety went away. That was like the last thing that I was working on, was my anxiety. Me sitting here, just to let you know, I wouldn't be doing this 5 months ago. Just so you know. Fast forward again, I am here. My biggest thing about the whole year in general is that I realized how much I do miss having a big family. I mean, I went from having a huge family, like I'm talking huge family, 4 brothers, 5 sisters. You can about imagine that's just my siblings. And then I have this huge amount of family and friends. It's crazy to go from having a very, very busy lifestyle to nothing, where I'm stuck in this house all the time. I do things now, but like at the time that I was going through all that shit, I was here. Just going, get the necessities, and then I'm just home. And that's it. So to any moms out there that is going through postpartum depression, just know that I know it's real. To the ones that are actually going through it, to the ones that aren't going through it, this is not for you. If you didn't have postpartum depression, then all of the stuff that I talked about is not for you. And I'm glad that you didn't go through it, but to the moms that did go through it, I am so sorry that you have to go through stuff like that. That was the worst time of my life. It was just a lot. I do not ever want to feel like that again.